What's up guys, it's Phantom's Yu-Gi-Oh! And I want to cover another Yu-Gi-Oh! Collecting or investing idea in this video. I want to talk about 5 deck cores that I think you should get now because I think Konami will give these decks some support eventually. They're fan favorite decks, and when they do get support announced, the value of this deck is going to go up big time. So you can either have the deck already for cheap, ready to play, or if you don't want to play the deck, you can just pick it up anyways and then sell back the core at an increased price for some profit. So let's check out those 5 decks. Okay, so the first deck I want to talk about is Infernoid. Infernoid is one of my favorite decks. I've had this core for a while in max rarity, and I think you should pick it up as well because it's a fan favorite deck, and they haven't had a new card since I think Cross Souls or Secrets of Eternity, whichever one was more recent, and that was back in like 2014 or 2015. Since then, they've gotten a few reprints. They've gotten, just in the most recent set, Brothers of Legend, they got Tierra reprinted, Decatron, I think, and Void Feast got an ultra rare upgrade. So, because of the new reprints of those cards, I think there's a potential for some kind of support announcement relatively soon. So I recommend picking up this deck core because it's actually pretty powerful, and with any new support it would actually be relevant in the meta. There's a few ultimate rare cards in the archetype. We have Tierra, we have Anunku, and those values will go up a lot if any support gets announced. So I recommend picking up those Tierras and Anunkus. Even if you're not interested in playing the deck, pick them up because those ultimate rares will be easy sells when the support announcement comes. So Infernoid is the first deck. Alright, the second deck I want to talk about is Satellar Knight. Satellar Knight is a deck that originally came out back around like 2014, I want to say, in Duelist Alliance format with Shadal's and Burning Abyss, and you know, Cleefort and Yangzing and all that stuff. So all those decks were in the meta at that time. Since then, most of the other decks have gotten support. Shadal's got the structure deck, Burning Abyss got Cherubini, and you know, a lot of cards go well with Burning Abyss, like Phantom Knights for example. But Satellar Knights, they haven't really gotten much. They got Dark Teller Knight, that card. I forget when that was, but it was a long time ago, and Satellar Knights really haven't done anything whatsoever in the meta since their original popularity. So I think Satellar Knights are a great deck to look into. They have a lot of high rarity cards in the extra deck that I think are worth picking up. They have Satellar Knight Shriver, which is an ultimate rare. They have Satellar Knight Constellar Diamond, which is an ultimate rare. They have Teller Knight Ptolemaeus, which is on the ban list. But the ultimate rare first editions are very cheap for those, surprisingly. So I recommend picking that up because even just an unban of that could affect the deck prices. So I recommend picking up the ultimate rare cards in the extra deck. Deltaros was a ghost rare and an ultimate rare, and those cards are very cheap as well. The ghost rare is something like, I don't know, $35 right now for Near Mint First Edition, and then the ultimate rare is probably around 10-15 bucks, honestly. So that deck has a lot of potential. It works well with trap cards, and a lot of people like playing trap decks. So I recommend picking up that core. It's a fan favorite deck, and I think it's just a matter of time before they get some kind of support or something to increase their relevance in the meta. So Satellar Knights is deck number 2 that I think you should pick up now. Alright guys, the third deck core I want to talk about is Spellbooks or Prophecy, and this is a deck that was very popular, very powerful when Spellbook of Judgment came out, which was I think 2013, and since Spellbook of Judgment got banned, the deck really hasn't done anything. At most, it was a draw engine with Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, Spellbook of Secrets, and Spellbook of Knowledge. The most recent support they got, I think, was Crowley, their Link monster in Dual Power, which is kind of like an okay card, but other than that, the deck really hasn't done anything. They haven't really gotten any support, so I think this is a good deck to target because it's a fan favorite. The cards are absolutely beautiful. They are quite expensive and high rarity, but I think it's a good investment. You're not going to lose any money by picking up high rarity spellbook cards, even if you can just do one card at a time. I recommend looking into this deck because if any support gets announced, these ultimate rares, the prices will skyrocket for you, and you can easily sell them back because they're valuable to collectors. If the support is meta relevant, valuable to meta players, they're valuable to legacy format players. If someone wants to play Dragon Ruler format, there's going to be people that want to pick up spellbooks. So I think that Konami will give this deck support eventually, and the prices will go through the roof because everyone has been wanting to play their max rarity spellbooks, and whoever doesn't have them probably wants them. So I think it's a great investment. You're not going to lose any money by picking up spellbooks. At worst case, you can just sell them back at the price you bought them for here, because I think they're going to go up, not down in the future. Alright, the fourth deck I want to talk about is a more recent deck, but I think the support that's upcoming is pretty telegraphed by Konami based on what they've already released, and this deck is Plunder Patrol. Now, Plunder Patrol is a deck that can tag out from the main monster zone into an extra deck monster with the same attribute as a card your opponent has on the field or in their graveyard. And now at this time, Plunder Patrol has extra deck monsters with water attribute, fire, dark, and light, and they do not have earth or wind attributes. And that's pretty much the main reason why the deck is not competitive right now, is because if your opponent is playing an earth monster deck or a wind monster deck, then the Plunder Patrols really cannot do anything. So I think Konami will give Plunder Patrol their two missing extra deck monsters for the earth and wind attributes, and I think that will make them quite relevant. And I think it's an especially worthwhile investment right now because the secret rare extra deck monsters are like $1 a piece. So I would pick up your set of Plunder Patrol Bran, Plunder Patrol Mowerk, and then I think Liss is the fusion one. That's the light monster. I think you should pick up this deck core, absolutely. They did not get reprinted in the Megatins, so even their main deck ultra rare monsters have value. So I would pick this deck up because it's only a matter of time before Konami releases the earth and wind attribute ships, and it will drive this deck. It will definitely increase the prices of the original secret rare extra deck monsters, which are only $1 right now. So really, you don't have much to lose by just grabbing this core before anything comes out and is announced. Okay, the fifth deck I want to talk about in this video is Dark Worlds. Now, Dark World is kind of off the map right now. They were a bit relevant when Dangers came out because Dangers work really well with Dark Worlds. But since I think Firewall got banned and that whole FTK combo got taken off the map, Dark World really hasn't done anything. But the reason I want to point out Dark World as a deck to look into right now is because of the order of structure deck reprints that Konami's been putting out. Recently they did the Gemini monster reprint, or I guess revamp, when Toon Chaos came out, like the Gearfried, Immortal Phoenix Gearfried monster and stuff. And then since then they have announced the Agents structure deck. And if we look back into history, the original Gemini monster deck with the original Gearfried preceded the Agents deck with Master Hyperion, and that preceded structure deck Gates of the Underworld. So if they continue the same order of structure deck reprints, Dark World is the next one to be getting support. So I think right now is the good time to pick up the Dark World Ultimate Rares or even the Secret Rare Snows, because I think those will all go up in price when we get the hopefully inevitable Dark World rework with new Dark World cards, and maybe with any unlimits of the danger monsters like Tsuchinoko or Jackalope coming off the list to more than just one each. That'll also help out the Dark World strategy. So look into those Dark World cards, pick up what you can at your locals, grab the Secret Rare Snows. They're probably pretty cheap. They're like $2 probably. Pick up the Field Spells. They come in Ultra Rare and Super Rare. Either of those are good to grab. So start scooping up your Dark World cards now, because the announcement will come, the hype will come, the price increase will come, and hopefully the profits will come for you because you've picked up the Dark World core.